Slight change in scenery today because I'm entirely too lazy to move that kit out of the unboxing zone, which, by the way, you all destroyed the like goal on that video, so I will be rewrapping that kit. If you head over to the community tab on my channel, you'll see a post where you can leave a recommendation for what I use to rewrap it with, and then the top 5 recommendations, I'll do a poll, and then you can vote on the final wrap. Not gonna lie, I'm only a little bit worried about some of the recommendations, but we'll see. But as you can see, today we have a box from HHG Drums, and as usual, there's a very unique and interesting drum inside of it. All right, check out this thing. Dude, this shell is insane. Also, if you couldn't tell, I had to match for the occasion. This has got to be the coolest looking snare that I own, but I had the idea for this drum after learning about this stuff called Panzerholz, which unfortunately you can't really get in the US, so I found another company that makes stuff that's similar and is what this drum is made out of. They take maple veneers, impregnate them with resin, squish the crap out of it, and you're left with this super dense maple resin block. And at least with the Panzerholz stuff, the audiophiles love it for its acoustic properties and build speakers and stands and other stuff with it. But as soon as I heard about this, I knew I needed a drum made out of it, so I hit up Sam from HHG to see if he would take on this project for me.
So hey, what do you think of that thing? Did you get a chance to put some sticks into it yet?
Yeah, I did. First of all, I mean, it looks incredible. It's like everything I hoped and dreamed it would be. But yeah, I mean, sound-wise, I was gonna ask you, I guess, like working with the material, what was that like compared to like a regular chunk of wood?
Because it's like resin impregnated, it's like working with a big old chunk of aluminum. It's resin impregnated, but then just a bunch of different plies of maple all sandwiched together. Maple is really hard to begin with. Add the resin on top, and it's very dense. Sound comparison wise between tapping on that and a piece of maple, like you can hear the density in that material. It's really cool. You built this like a regular stave, drum. So like as far as the construction of it and like I guess more so the building process of getting it into round, like was there anything weird you had to do as far as like getting the plies or the laminates to like align? Yeah, so that was a little tricky, right? Because like I wanted it to come out and I wanted everything to be very even. Very difficult to work with that material and get those, because the veneers are so thin, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to have a lot of control over where they land once you get the staves together. So the short answer is I kind of just went through my normal process, the way I would usually process a piece of wood, and kind of just hoped for the best. And it turned out really good. Everything lined up really well. There's a couple places in there that I wish that the spacing had been more even, but I don't think there's any way to do it any better than just kind of like crossing your fingers and hoping for the best.
this is a 14 by 5.5 inch shell. It has 10 lugs, which are CNC machined and then chrome plated, so super beefy lugs, 2.3 millimeter triple flange hoops, and the shell is finished with 2 coats of nitrocellulose. Take that, guitar nerds. Also, I should mention that there's no internal muffler on this drum, and for this video, I have 0 muffling on the drum either. All natural. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge Evans guy, but what heads are those on that drum?
Yeah, so it's the batter head is it's like our stock head. It's an Evans reverse center power dot, and then the Reso side, that's our stock batter head, which is just like the standard Evans Hazy 300.
So the bearing edges, or is that like a stock thing you do on like any drum or something special on this one?
Yeah, that's actually my standard edge that I do on almost all drums. I change the edge according to what type of drum it is. Like bass drums get different edges, rack toms get different edges, 4 toms get different edges, but the snare drum edge, unless I get a specific request from a client, what I put on your drum is my stock, my standard go-to, and it consists of a 3/16 of an inch radius round over on the outside, like where the head contacts, and then the inside is just a standard 45. And then I take that and I put it on a lathe and I sand it while it's spinning, and I kind of blend those 2 cuts into each other. So there's no defined start and stop point between the 2 cuts. They just kind of flow nicely into each other. Oh, hey, quick question for you, Dave. Is this video sponsored?
Funny you say that. All the recordings in this video have been with a pair of the Slate ML-1 microphones as overheads. With these mics and the Slate virtual microphone system, you have access to tens of thousands of dollars of classic vintage mics and preamps, all conveniently placed in your DAW. Like, seriously, wish you used a crispier set of overheads? That simple. You know, I actually think it would sound better with something darker. That easy. With the purchase of an ML1, you get access to 8 different mics and 2 preamps, but there are expansion packs in case you need even more options. I've only scratched the surface of these mics as well as the VMS, so I'm stoked to use these in future videos and try them out as room mics, as a kick mic, a crotch mic, or really any other mic. So if you want to learn more about these mics or pick one up for yourself, I'll have them linked down below. Plus, for the rest of the month of May, they're on sale, so hurry up before it's not this month anymore. I like the OG rdavidr badge you put on the inside.
Yeah, man, I brought it back. I was like, I still had the CNC file from years and years ago when we did that drum, when that was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to showcase, like, because like since like I was barely building drums when I sent you that shell, and I was like fell in love with your channel, and I sent you that shell way back in the day just because I loved your videos. And since then, it's become more of like, oh, it's like I'm kind of a real drum company now, me and my partner Kevin, and I was like, so I really wanted to put like our badge on the outside, but I didn't want to do you dirty and not put an rdavidr badge on there. So I was like, I snuck that bad boy in on the inside, so it sandwiches the shell with the 2 badges. So we got our badge on the outside and then your badge on the inside.
Yeah, you had posted that picture on Instagram with my face on the front. I was like, is he doing that? Like, I don't know about this. Since you've worked with it some now, like, I mean, do you see any other plans to like build other drums with it, or any other applications for it?
Oh, dude, absolutely. So the cool stuff about that is the manufacturer I purchased it from we decided on gray, a black, and an orange maple veneer layered together. And you can get that in any flavor. They have every color in the rainbow. And what I really want to do is, I know when we were talking about this earlier on, like we were trying to decide how we wanted to orient the veneers in the shell, and you wanted to go with them like facing, you know, radially. But what I really want to try is the other way. So the plies kind of run around the diameter. And I think if I do that, I remember when we were shooting some text back and forth, I sent you that picture that I think it was like a pepper mill or something. And if you change the orientation of the way that the plies are running relative to the drum shell, it gives this crazy like topographic map, like striation look to it.
I was thinking about it too, like if you did instead of doing like a stave, if you did like a segmented thing, with like different colors and the segments, and like offset it like a checkerboard or even zigzag or
100%.
anything.
Yeah,
like,
that would be super wild. And I do build a lot of segmented shells, and that would be awesome, because then you could go crazy on the colors. Like you wouldn't really just be limited to like, you know, one pattern. You could put 10 different, like I could order 10 different blanks, cut them all up, do 10 different segmented rings, put them all together, and then have this just insane cornucopia of colors going on in that shell. That'd be sick. So that is the HHG Resin snare drum. I want to say that Sam said he made 2 or 3 other shells just like this one, so if you want to snag one or have some other crazy idea, I'll have all of his info down below in the description.